My name is Matt Williams. I'm an author of a book that's coming out called Glimpses, a comedy writer's take on life, love, and all that spiritual stuff. Before I wrote the book, I was in TV and film for about 40 years. I started as a playwright and director in New York, and then transitioned into TV. My first job in television was The Cosby Show, and I got hired on the staff and worked there for 3 years and became a producer on The Cosby Show. And then while at The Cosby Show, I co-created A Different World, and then left The Cosby Show and I created the series Roseanne for ABC. And then I made a deal with Disney Studios and created a show called Home Improvement and a few others in between there. But that's been kind of the gist of my career. And then I branched out into films. I directed a couple films, I produced a couple of films. More than a couple, like 10 or 12. And some of them very successful, and some of them not so successful. About 5-6 years ago, I closed my production company out in Hollywood, Wind Dancer Films, and moved back to New York, up on the farm. And I said to my wife, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I know I don't want to go back into the hamster wheel of Hollywood. I don't want to stay out there in that grind. But I said, I also don't want to die with all these stories still living inside me. I had all these stories stirring around. I didn't know what form they would take. I didn't even know what the stories were. I just sensed I had stories to tell. So out of prayer time, I was praying and going, okay, what's my purpose? I'm in the last third of my life. What am I going to do? How am I going to serve others? And I really thought about it, and I go, my only true gift is storytelling, all right? So I thought maybe I should try writing prose. And so I started writing almost as an exercise, short pieces, essays. And because of the way I think, and because of my 30 plus years writing comedy for television, I just started writing these essays, and they were all humorous, but they all had a spiritual bent to them. And then I got very excited. I thought, this feels good. A lot of these stories that I didn't know were buried inside me are starting to come out. So the book grew out of that. And then also, at the same time, almost simultaneously, COVID hit. In March 2020, I got it, and I got it early, and I got it pretty badly. I was sick for a month, almost died. So having almost died, having closed my production company, at the time approaching 70 years old, I went, okay, we tend to say, oh, one day I'm going to do this. At some point I'm going to do this. And I thought, buddy, you're turning 70 years old. Someday is now. So if you're ever going to write a book, you better write it now. So that's when I really got serious and hunkered down. And it took me about 2 years to write the book. My hope with Glimpses is twofold. One, I want to open hearts. When people read it, I want them to laugh a lot. I want their hearts to be opened. And I want to remind them that there's still goodness in the world. If we look around, if we truly stop and look around, there's little glimpses of God everywhere. And by God, I mean moments of grace, tenderness, unexpected kindness, compassion. It's out there. We just have to look for it and also pass it around. Kindness is contagious. We need to, contaminate a lot of people with kindness. So that's my first hope. The second hope is I consider this book my Newman's Own. I don't make salad dressing. I'm not an engineer. I'm not going to dig wells in the Sudan. I'm not going to build a dam in Bolivia. The only gift I truly have is storytelling. So with these stories that are compiled in Glimpses, I hope to sell many, many, many copies and make a lot of money so I can give it all away, because every penny I earn from this book or lectures or seminars will be donated to charities that help children in need around the world. This is my passion. It is truly my passion, because I so firmly believe every child on the planet deserves clean drinking water, nutrition, shelter, and some form of education. And I'm not talking about a chemical engineering degree. I'm talking about basic education for survival. Every child deserves that. And these children come into the world innocent and are thrown into circumstances. And anything that we can do to help better their lives in any way is worth it. And so that's my passion. So I have 4 organizations that I will donate the proceeds from the book to those 4 organizations.